So now we are closing in on a month before WWE 2k23 appears, and I mean the excitement is nothing but growing for WWE 2k23, which will release officially on March 17th. But the official roster for the game has been released with a number of stars making their first appearance, and this video is designed to help us break down the roster and look at what to expect for WWE 2k23. The one thing that I think everyone is happy about is that the roster in this game is not too far off the roster in real life, unlike how it was at the time of the release of the game last year, when a lot of the members of the roster were no longer with the company after the budget cuts that took place in 2021 and 2022, or 2020, 2021, and 2022. But I do believe that there were more people in 2022 that got released from NXT than on the main roster. But either way, Alba Fire, Aaliyah, Axiom, and Zoe Stark, the Creed brothers, Cora Jade are just among the talent that are gracing us with their presence for the very first time. And as I've said in previous videos, I'm just happy that NXT is having a proper involvement in this year's game, as I feel like that they were very extremely limited last year, and I know that there was a decree last year with the Royal Rumble that NXT talent were not welcome in the Royal Rumble, or not allowed to compete in the Royal Rumble, but I don't know if it was the same with the video game. But either way, of course, AJ Styles, Tozawa, Alexa Bliss, Angel Garza, Angelo, Apollo, Asuka, Theory, Batista, Bayley, Becky Lynch, Beth Phoenix, Bianca Belair, Big Boss Man are among the major stars, and of course Andre the Giant is Andre the Giant is among the legends. Bossman, Big E, Bobby Lashley, Boogeyman. Boogeyman has not been in a WWE game in a very long time, so it is interesting to see the Boogeyman back in the game. Booker T, Braun Strowman, Bret Hart, Brie Bella has not been in a game in a few years. British Bulldog has not been in a game in a few years. I wonder if that means that WWE still does the old thing where if they induct somebody in the Hall of Fame the previous year, then they're in the WWE game the following year. Braun Breaker, Brock Lesnar, Bruno Sammartino. I don't know that Bruno has been in a WWE game since, I think there was a game where he was maybe DLC or, correct me in the comment section. I don't know if I think Bruno was in a WWE game a few years ago, but I don't remember the last time he was, or if he has ever been in a WWE game. So this could be a first, and something I will thoroughly enjoy, to be honest with you, having Bruno Sammartino in a WWE game. Brutus Creed, as I mentioned, Butch. This is Pete Dunne's first time in the game as Butch. Cactus Jack. I don't remember. I know Cactus Jack has been in a WWE game, but it's been a couple years. Cameron Grimes, Carmelo Hayes. I, for one, am ecstatic to see Carmelo Hayes in a WWE game, because I think that Carmelo is nothing but a future champion in the WWE's on the main roster. He will be 100% a future champion on the main roster when he makes the move to the main roster of WWE. Cedric Alexander, who we talked about in the news video. Chad Gable, Charlotte Flair. I gotta say, I think Chad Gable has a tremendous amount of untapped potential, and I hope that if WWE does make the move to turn Otis babyface, that they make the move to turn Chad Gable babyface with them, because Chad can give a lot more than they're allowing him to give even though he is a reliable hand and somebody that they just stick in the ring when they need somebody reliable to take that spot, I think that Chad Gable can do a lot more than just be a reliable hand. He could be a long-term champion if WWE gives him the opportunity. Chyna's back in the game. Cody Rhodes is back in the game. And I think that is a sight that nobody at one point expected, especially considering the fact that it is very likely that Cody will not be a part of AEW's video game, which at one point Cody would have been a part of AEW's video game and never again a part of WWE's video game. An interesting note is Commander Aziz, who has not been featured on the main roster he just returned on NXT Vengeance Day to attack Apollo Crews, but he has not really been featured since his association with Apollo Crews went south. So it is good to see Commander Aziz being featured in the WWE game and Take-Two going, trying to hit everybody. Cruz del Toro, who is, I believe, one of the members of Legado del Fantasma. Cora Jade, as I mentioned, Dakota Kai, Damian Priest, Dana Brooke, Dexter Lumis, Diesel, Doink. When was the last time Doink the Clown was featured in a WWE game? I know he was featured in, was it an early, maybe one of the last SmackDown vs. Raws? This is going to be a sparse game because Doudrop is in her last game, as I believe she is back now as Piper Niven. Drew Gulak, Drew McIntyre, Eddie, Edge, Elias, Eric Bischoff. When was the last time Eric Bischoff was featured in a game? But you got to figure that Eric Bischoff is featured in the game as a part of the showcase mode for John Cena. Eric, Ezekiel. So it is insane to think that Elias, of all people, actually has two different attires in a WWE game because Elias and his brother Ezekiel, actually, technically, maybe you'd say that, but, you say that, but, technically, Elias and Ezekiel are brothers. They're not, they're not the same person. I don't know what you're talking about. Farouk is back. Giovanni Vici. And, of course, the leader of the Judgment Day, Finn Balor. Gigi Dolan is making her WWE 2k23 debut, as is Grayson Waller. Again, I am ecstatic to see the NXT roster having the type of association in this year's game as they do, or the type of association in this year's game as much as they do. It is fantastic to see because you get to do dream matches you didn't even know you wanted to do in this year's game with the likes. If you want to do Grayson Waller versus Shawn Michaels, guess what you could do in WWE 2k23? You could do Grayson Waller versus Shawn Michaels. Happy Corbin, Goldberg, Hollywood Hogan, Hulk Hogan, Humberto Carrillo, the Hurricane, Ilya Dragunov, who is somebody that I am ecstatic to see in a WWE game because I have become a big fan of Ilya Dragunov. Indy Hartwell, Io Sky, Ivar, JC Jane, Jake the Snake Roberts, JD McDonough, and I know everyone knows how much of a fan of the Irish Ace I am, so seeing JD back in the WWE game is something I'm very happy about. Jerry the King Lawler, main event Jey Uso, J.M. the Anvil Neidhart, Jimmy Uso, Jinder Mahal, the modern day Maharaja in another game is always good to see. Joaquin Wilde, JBL, John Cena, Johnny Gargano, who confirmed it by himself, Julius Creed, Kane, Karrion Kross, Katana Chance, Caden Carter, Kevin Nash, Kofi Kingston, Kevin Owens, Kurt Angle, L.A. Knight. Yeah. And I think that it is fair to say I am ecstatic to have L.A. Knight in a WWE game. Yeah. Lacey Evans, Liv Morgan, Lita, Logan Paul, which is a sight I never thought I'd see, Ludwig Kaiser, Mace, Macho Man, Madcap Moss, Mansoor. My question is, why are they not the Maximum Male models and why are they on their previous gimmicks? Matt Riddle, Maryse, Molly Holly, which is I mean, that's an awesome add to the game, having Molly in the game. Montez Ford, Mr. McMahon, Mustafa Ali, MVP, Natalia, NXT, and Nikki ASH. Why is she on her previous gimmick? Nikki Bella, Nikita Lyons, Noam Dar. Props to the NXT UK long stay. Nikita Lyons also, props to her. Omos, first game for him. Queen Zelina's back. Otis, Randy Orton, Raquel Rodriguez, Razor, Reggie. Reggie's actually in a WWE game. 24/7 fame. Rey Mysterio. I apologized. I skipped over Dominic because I was fixated on Doudrop. Rhea Ripley, Rick Boogs, Ricochet, Ridge Holland, Rikishi, Rob Van Dam, Robert Roode, Roman Reigns, Ronda Rousey, Roddy Piper, Roxanne Perez, R-Truth, Sami Zayn, Santos Escobar, Scarlett, Scott Hall. And I didn't skip over Karrion Kross. I was just going through it a mile a minute. But also note Ridge Holland, Rick Boogs, Reggie, Omos. I don't think Noam Dar is in his first game, but he might be. Nikita Lyons. The amount of people on this roster that are in their first WWE game is astronomical. You would not be able to keep track of how many people are in their first WWE game this year. Seth, Shane McMahon, Shanky. Props to Shanky for being in his first game. Shawn Michaels, Shayna Baszler, Sheamus, Shelton Benjamin, Shinsuke Nakamura, Chauncey, Solo Sikoa, welcome to the game, The Street Fighter, Sonya Deville, Stacy Keibler. I don't remember the last time I saw Stacy Keibler on a game roster. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Stephanie, Six, Tamina, T-Bar, Ted DiBiase, The Miz, The Rock, Titus O'Neil, Ciampa, Triple H, Trish Stratus, Tyler Bate, Ultimate Warrior, Umaga, Undertaker, Vader, Veer Mahan, Gunther, Wesley, Xavier Woods, Xia Li, X-Pac, Yokozuna, and Zoe Stark. I just also want to point out, Six and X-Pac are in the game, so you have two WWE, two attires for Six, and also for Razor Ramon. I think it's from the NWO pack as DLC that came out for WWE 2k22. But also in the Ruthless Aggression pack for DLC, you have Brock Lesnar 2001, the Prototype, Randy Orton 2002, Leviathan, which was Batista's name in OVW, Bad Bunny, and Fightful.com will provide updates on Superstar overalls and further DLC information as more is made available. WWE 2k23 Standard Edition will release on March 17th, with the Deluxe and Icon editions releasing on Tuesday, March 14th. More information can be found. I'm sure, on just by Googling WWE 2k23. But I, for one, am massively excited for WWE 2k23. I have not decided yet if I'm going to pre-order it. I have not decided yet if I'm going to get the game when the game first comes out. But what I do know is it won't take long for me to get into the WWE 2K franchise once again, and I will not be missing 2K23 this year because there's a lot of people I want to play as, and there's a lot of content I want to make for your viewing pleasure. So for more updates on WWE 2K23, you got to stay tuned because we are closing in on less than a month away from the next installment of the WWE franchise. But with that being said, I will see you in the next video.